Yeah, good morning. It's Jim from JAGfx.com. It is Saturday, the 5th of July, 2025. This is my weekly video where we have a look at some of the Forex pairs. I'm trading on the daily time frame using the high probability and divergence trading methods from my books. Okay, everyone. Hope everyone's weekend's going okay. It's nearly midday here, close to. Here in Da Nang, Vietnam. It's Saturday. Probably go and have a few beers and watch a bit of football this afternoon. The British and Irish Lions are touring Australia at the moment and touching everyone up. Beat my team soundly during the week, Queensland Reds. So the Lions they're a force to be reckoned with. There's no doubt about it. I was drinking with a couple of Welsh boys last night, and they were telling me all about it. And Wales are doing so well too, aren't they? Anyway, let's move on. If you do like the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's always appreciated. Yeah, I know they're not the most exciting videos, so let's get into the charts. And yesterday was a public holiday, so happy Independence Day to all our American friends, or US friends. I got a funny story. I did celebrate Independence Day in the US once, back in 1983, which I believe, in a little town called Miller, South Dakota. You probably never heard of it. It's like a little speck in the middle of nowhere. It's a long story how I ended up there. I was getting all excited. Independence Day, yeah, your big American holiday. Mate, the town was absolutely dead. Nothing happening. It was quiet as. Very tame, very underwhelming. Is that such a word? Not the opposite, overwhelming, underwhelming. But yeah. Miller, South Dakota. Look it up. It's only a little small town. All I remember is flicker tails and yeehaw. All right, let's get into the charts. This is TradingView. I do all my analysis on TradingView. This is my watch list on the right. Now, basically, we're switching over to the loss recovery on the MACD Platinum method. There was a question in the Telegram group, which pairs I'm trading doing what. You can either have a look at my spreadsheet or just watch these videos and you'll see what I'm doing. I've got a DCA watch list, I've got 8-hour watch list, I've got some other testing watch lists I'm doing, so I've got a few watch lists going, but this is the main one. This covers most of the pairs I'm looking at. There's a few others, a few other yen pairs that I'll trade, and Swiss franc and stuff like that, but generally this is it. I'm not a trade signal provider. Please don't follow me blindly. I do call my trade signals at the time. Now, for me, the daily candle at the moment is 4 a.m. local. That's the 5 p.m. New York. I'm not getting out of bed at 4 a.m. I get out of bed at 6:30, 2.5 hours later. Generally, the markets don't move that much. Maybe a couple of yen pairs or New Zealand pairs sometimes move a bit in that early morning. It doesn't really worry. It's a daily chart, so not much happens. Even if I got up at 4, I couldn't do anything for an hour anyway because the spreads don't come in for about an hour. So yeah, I'm not a trade signal provider, but let's have a look here. So AusCAD, we have got a new sell signal on Monday. So this is one of 2 new trade signals. Just looking at my notes, AusCAD, new sell signal on Monday. There's the red dot on the QMP filter. The MACD Platinum's above the 0 level. I don't know where the entry is obviously going to be until I actually take the trade, so that's why you just see the question marks everywhere. Not much to say about this, just a boring sort of downtrend. You can look at the moving averages, they're sort of heading down. Prices come in the 240, sort of bounced off. There's no divergence, there's nothing to speak of. It's just a boring, plain old, boring vanilla type trade. It's not a fast moving pair. You get the occasional big move like that. That's during the tariff war. And it bounced straight back up and gone sideways again. So there's a new sell on Monday. So what happens on Monday? I take the trade, I'll update this, I'll put that line obviously where it's supposed to be, I'll take a screenshot and I'll post that on the daily updates, and the details will be added to the shared spreadsheet. Everything's already on the shared spreadsheet, just got to put the prices in, so you can always check it. So any trade management I also call, and it's updated in the spreadsheet, and I call it on the daily updates also. So that's a new sell for AusCAD on Monday. Aussie Swiss still in this sell trade. It was a loss recovery. We've already recovered the loss. I've closed half, stop and place, drag the stop down. So the sell's there, stop below it. I just trailed the stop somewhere around that dotted, that's the SMA 20, simple moving average 20. The MACD platinum is below the zero level. We've got a blue dot on the MACD platinum below the zero level, hence the grey vertical line. It's just a warning signal for me, all right? That's just when I start tightening things up on the stops and that. So we can't lose on this sell trade. Recover that loss. The loss was only $3.24. So we recovered it. Again, same sort of pattern as the AusCAD. Big drop during the tariff wars and bounced straight back and basically in the grind again. Trends down. All right. Japanese yen. Just remind me why I don't trade these yen pairs. Nothing happening here. I took a buy here. It lost on this sell, so I took a small loss, $10.33. You can read my notes there. Took a sell, trying to recover that. Got an opposite QMP filter dot on Friday morning. I closed that sell for another loss. There's a pretty big negative swap on the sell side on the yen pairs there, so I took a bit of a hit in this. What was that, $341? It was probably 40 of that was probably swap fees. So there's a total loss today. Now waiting on a valid high probability setup, all right? So we've got a grey vertical line here. Now look at this, look at all these different coloured dots on the MACD Platinum. What's that? There's 4 there and there's 4 there, 8. You don't see 8 on one side anywhere previously until I start trading like this, yeah. There's a big resistance level in price. We're waiting on another valid setup to try and recover this loss. That's why we're just in no man's land. That's why it's highlighted in yellow. It means I'm just waiting on a trade setup. So we've got a bit of a loss hanging over me, just waiting for a better setup. Aussie USD. You can pause the video, read my notes. So we, pardon me. We took a sell, had a loss, took a buy, it was valid, had a loss, took another sell. Did we take the sell there? No, just took that buy and it's going the wrong way. Now we've got it's all pretty ugly there. I said it was ugly. The 27th, that buy is valid but a little ugly due to the resistance level. So when I took it, I was at that resistance level in price. This green level's a 65-cent level, big round number on the Aussie USD. I wrote that there. And there's hidden bullish divergence to the short side, which is good, but then there's regular divergence on the upside. So a bit of a mixed signals there. Now there's my 2 target levels up there, target 1, target 2, and didn't even really get up that close to them. And before it's rolling over, as I said, we've got a red dot on the MACD Platinum above the zero level. So we may be taking a loss soon and going back to the downside. Who knows? Who knows? BTC. Now, I did something this morning. Now, BTC, Bitcoin, is a 24/7 market. As you can see, the price is ticking over. No other price is moving. It's just Bitcoin. So if you look there, that's the only one that's moving. So what I've done this morning is, all right, just the buy trade. I've just moved the stop up this morning to 106.135. So I've just brought it inside. So if you just expand that a little bit, you can see it. It's just on that, underneath that dot. Inside the entry level, price is not going anywhere fast on the Bitcoin. It's got this, there's the high here and it's struggled, bounced, come back down to 100,000, that's 100,000 level twice, and it's gone up to this previous high again. Now we've got this hidden bearish divergence forming. We're at this resistance level on price, so it might be going to the sell side. We're not making much money at the moment on Bitcoin because it's stuck in this sort of range. You can see it like a channel both ways there. It's a bit of a range. But it's not doing anything stupid. It's not any huge moves. It's sort of settled down a lot compared to the heyday of Bitcoin. So it's just like trading any other instrument now. That's the impression you get. I'll say that. Next week it'll probably drop or take off. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, so we can't lose on the buys. But I did move the stop up today, being Saturday. It doesn't really move that much on the weekend, so you don't really get too, because I traded on the 8-hour charts too, and I sort of forget to check that, and I just check it once a day sort of thing, so it's all good. Right, Euro Aussie, we're in a traditional hedge with this one still, and again we've had lots of mixed signals. We're just not going well. At the moment, we're hedged, hedge 2. So break even, not applicable. So we're just in no man's land at the moment. Potentially waiting on a sell. MACD Platinum's above the 0 level. Red dot on the MACD Platinum above the 0 level. And it's just, even though the trend's up, I've got to release the hedge at some point. It may be the case where I could just, if I get a sell and these buys are in profit, or one of them's in profit, or if both of them combined as say net 0, break even, I could probably close the buys and just go into dollar cost averaging mode on this pair. It's not a pair I don't mind doing that on this pair. So yeah, we'll wait and see, but at the moment we're hedged, locking in a loss, not going anywhere fast. Now, Euro Yen, I don't know, remind me why I'm trading the yen pairs in this again, I don't know why. Took a sell here, I liked it because it was the price was a long way from moving averages, and it's still in sell mode. Hence, I've drawn this, it's gone against me, it's just ground up higher. You see the MACD's going lower, so we've got potential regular bearish divergence forming there. It's getting further away from moving averages. The moving averages are spreading and moving to the upside. I've drawn this trend line across the lows here, or close to it, looking for a potential break of that to take a second sell or something like that. So we're not looking good at the moment, but we're not going into buy mode anytime soon either. So we're just waiting at the moment. Euro Yen. Euro USD, still in a buy trade back here from the 20th of May. Stop and place up here. I could probably draw, we'll leave it there. Sort of there's highs here. So we're in a stop, we can't lose on that. We took a sell here, got a reversal there, closed out for a loss. So had a sell, took nearly a $200 loss there, now waiting for a valid MACD trade signal on for trade 2. Potentially setting up for a sell. There's a red dot on the MACD Platinum above the 0 level. And there's regular bearish divergence forming there. Again, it'll be a high risk trade back against the trend. But you know, as we know, markets don't move in a straight line for too long in one direction. There's always pullbacks or retracements, whatever way, or change of trend direction completely. So you never know when it's going to happen. No one knows. But you know, we're just going on past what's happened in the past. See, there's always some sort of pullback, little bits. So wait and see, waiting on the euro for a try and recover this sell. Now I could probably close out this buy and cover that loss, but that's not what we're doing. Pound Aussie, what are we? All right, here's a couple here. So let's tidy this up. The last trade I took was this sell during the week. Not a great signal. High risk trade is trading into it's in an uptrend. You can see by the moving averages. We're trading into the MAs. Price is already in the MAs when I took this sell, so it's not a great. MACD Platinum's just above the 0 level, so you can understand what I'm saying. It's not a great setup, but I'm taking all these trades because it doesn't worry me out, because I've got the loss recovery mode thinking in, so it's not a problem. But if you're trading with the traditional way, with say a stop loss above this high here, it wouldn't be a great sell trade to take. It just doesn't look good. We're stuck in this range. There is a resistance level in price, but have a look at the support down here too. So we're stuck in a range bound. So we're going back to this buy. It was stopped out and for an overall small profit. So I took a buy, reversed, took a second buy, closed out, recovered the loss, and took that. So that's all finished, so we'll get rid of all that. So the buy's gone. You can go to the spreadsheet and have a read of that. I'll just leave it on the chart to show you guys and girls on the weekend what happened. So we're no longer in that buy, so let's get rid of all that. So all I've got is sell that's not going too well, and that's it. So out of the buys. So all we've got is this one sell, not great. Not the end of the world, but not get me excited either. Pound CAD. Again, this buy here was stopped out for an overall small profit. So that's finished. So as I said, it's gone up. I've closed half. It's come down, taken my stop out. Overall, very small profit. So it's gone. In the meantime, I took this sell, and a very similar to the pound Aussie, very similar. And I think I made a note. There's a few pound pairs I took the correlation. So you got to watch the overall correlation, especially if you're trading all the same sort of pairs. It's the same sort of pattern, stuck in a range, good resistance level and price. We're at the moving averages already. MACD platinum a little bit higher above the zero level, but we'll wait and see. It's sort of at the entry level. So I've been there for a couple of days, going nowhere fast. Pound Swiss, not much happening here. We've got a blue dot on the MACD platinum below the zero level, hence the grey vertical line, but there's no trades on. Trends down, it's just sort of in no man's land at the moment. Pound yen, righto, again, we'll go back to the yen pairs. We're in lots of loss recovery trades. Ever since this one here, I started off with LRQ, loss recovery on every QMP dot. So you can see there's been a lot of dots in there, so every time I get a reversal, I'm closing out for losses. I don't think I took any profits there at all. Sometimes you get, like if you look at the pound USD on the loss recovery, you'll see three, I think, positive trades. So every now and then you'll get a couple of positive trades. But the pound yen, nah. These are my targets down here. Last signal is this sell, and as Murphy's Law would have it, very next day is this huge bullish candle. Well, it's not huge, it's big. And Friday we're back heading down again. So no idea which way it's going. It's not a great sell signal, but there was regular divergence there. It's against the trend, sort of the mixed signals again. We're not going to make these targets, obviously, unless something drastic happens in the world, but they're not really relevant at the moment. What we're trying to do is get some profit so we can start chewing away at this 9,500 loss. Try and eat some of that. Eventually we'll get a decent move where I do get some of that. You know, this pair does move at times, so we're just waiting patiently. It's a yen pair. They give you so much grief. Now I've got two charts for the pound USD and also the USD Singapore dollar, because I've got a lot happening, and it's sometimes a lot easier to look at a cleaner chart. So we're still in loss recovery mode over here. I think if you see there's a couple of positive trades in there, you can pause the video and have a read. Here's all the sequences, the break-even levels, all these yellow lines. The solid yellow is the overall break-even. We've got about $580 profit, and the last trade was this sell. So we've got all these, this is all multi-sequence hedging. You've heard the story. I've started to prune a couple of trades, so we've already closed two trades. You've heard the story how I'm in the wrong position size. Jeez, I'm not sitting very well, am I? I'm in the wrong position size. I doubled my size. It's caused me grief, and I made that one mistake, a midweek mistake. You've all heard it. So I'm paying the price. And here's the cleaner chart, same pair, just without all the lines. So the last trade, this is the pound USD still, was this sell here. High risk traders trading against the trend, but there is regular divergence there. You can see it, regular bearish divergence. There's a 50 moving average, so we've got a little room to move there, so we're just going to wait and see what happens. New Zealand CAD. Now remember, we got a sell on the Oz CAD, we've got a sell on Monday on the New Zealand CAD. So there's a bit of correlation there, obviously. Both CAD pairs, Aussie and New Zealand, they tend to move the same a lot of the time, unless you're trading Aussie New Zealand, but yeah, so there's correlation there. Now this is a pair that's just gone sideways, seems like forever. I've traded on the 8-hour charts, and it's the same crap I'm dealing with on the 8-hour charts. At least the 8-hour charts, I'm getting a little bit of profit between these ranges, whereas the daily, it's pretty hard to pick that up. So on Monday, we're taking a sell. So we're in traditional hedging with this pair still. So for S2, sequence 2, that will be a trade 3. So sell, hedge, sell, hedge, sell. For sequence 1, it's a hedge. So buy, hedge, and we'll commence a new sequence 3. It's a valid sell signal, even though it's a high risk trade. High risk sell is trading in the tight range, but there's a decent resistance on price. But look at the moving average. Everything's very tight. Everything's very flat. So ideally, we want to try and get this down. We'll have an overall break even. I don't know where it is. We'll have a new break even on sequence 2. I don't know where that is. And so we're trying to just clear these trades. It's a pair that I don't get stressed about too much. It doesn't really do anything. What's the correct word? It doesn't move that much. It scares me at any time. It's not like a yen pair or a pound or one of the majors. New Zealand CAD, you know, you could come back 6 months and it'll still be in the same sort of area. So we've got a new sell on Monday on New Zealand CAD. So Oz CAD, New Zealand CAD sell signals. New Zealand USD took a buy here. Wasn't totally excited about it. Valid buy set up, but my concern is we're at the resistance level and price at the time. You can see that you got these highs here. And like the Aussie USD, it's rolling over to the downside. But I couldn't really do much, even though the MACD Platinum's just gone through the zero level. There's not much room to move. So now we've got regular divergence forming there, times 2. See there and there, regular bearish divergence. So we might be taking a sell soon. There's a red dot just above the zero level in the MACD Platinum. The problem is we're on this big round number, which is 60 cents, which, like the Aussie, around 65 cent. It's a big number. See this one down here? It's the 55 cent level. You know, look how it bounces off that a couple of times. USD CAD, my least favourite pair, as you all know. We're in traditional hedging still, sequence 1. So that's all sequence 1. That's hedged at the moment. So waiting on a buy. At the moment, the MACD last signal was this sell here. And that's sequence 4, so I took a new sequence, trade 1. So we're just coming down. It's going nowhere fast. The MACD Platinum's still above the zero level. That's right. But we've got this divergence here. It's all a bit messy. All a bit messy. New Zealand CAD. I may go in a dollar cost averaging mode here and just close the sells or something like that and just look to go to the buy side, something like that. USD Singapore dollar. This has got 2 charts. We'll go in a minute. The good thing is, on switch start, there's 3 sell trades from this area here. Stop for them's down here. So I can't lose on them. That's all these 3 over here, a little bit hard to read. That's these 3 here. So that's good. So they're winners. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Put out my sequence 1. Sequence 1 commenced all the way back here. Traditional hedging it was initially, but now I've gone into dollar cost averaging mode, so it's just buys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buys. Looking for another buy. Overall break-even levels are these yellow lines here. So hopefully I'm going to bring this stop down. I might look at that on Tuesday or something like that. Try and bring this stop down tighter. Then start looking to add some profit and go to the upside. So I've got a little bit of profit already. $3,017. So if at the end of the day we get a buy here and it goes up and doesn't quite reach the overall break-even levels, but if say my overall loss was $2,000 or something like that, I'll just take the hit because I've already made $3,000 on it. And I'm going to probably pick up another $600 or so on these sell trades. So yeah, I'll just take the hit. And overall be plus 1,000 or 2,000, something like that. So something like that. I know it's probably the stupid way to look at it. I get that, but it's just the way I look at it. And we had this discussion a bit, you know, like revenge trading and stuff like that. I do take a little bit personal on certain pairs. I like to get my money back. But you know, if I'm and someone said, oh, if you made like say $1,000 on another pair, just take your loss, and I go, nah, no. It's a smart thing to do, but not for me. So here's the same chart, just a bit tidier. The last trade, there was a sell. It's still on the US Singapore dollar. Mixed signals, like I said, you got hidden bearish divergence there, and you got regular bullish divergence forming. So it's a mixed, and they both were at the same time when this signal was given. So Yeah, it's just something to be aware of. It's, on this pair too, I'd rather be trading to the downside, but how much more downside has the US dollar got? That's the thing. All right, and we get to the metals. Metals that give me a bit of pain. They're both going in the opposite directions, would you believe? I think I'm in a sell on one, silver. This is silver, XAG. So I'm going to sell here. And it did come down below, the MACD Platinum came through the zero level, but there's just not enough for me to take any profit. And its price wasn't coming down close enough to the 50 moving average. EMA, I probably should change the colour on that. You probably can't see that in the video, that brown 50. I might change it to a lighter colour. Yeah, so that probably wasn't coming, the price wasn't coming down low enough, and I was reluctant to close out half there, which in hindsight I probably should have. I actually thought about putting the stop above this high here, and it would have been stopped out if I'd done that. Now we've got a blue dot on the MACD Platinum below the zero level, and there's hidden bullish divergence forming there, but again, price hasn't come back close enough to the moving average for me to do this as a standalone trade. But as I'm doing the LRM, loss recovery on the MACD Platinum, if I did get a buy signal here, I would close the sellout and I would take the buy, just based on that divergence. I'm a big fan of hidden divergence, and I'm happy to take that. But then we probably have to break this high here too, so it's a bit of a mixed bag again. But the trend is heading up, isn't it? And these levels here, that's a 35, and obviously next one up will be the 40 up there somewhere. There's a 30 down there. So yeah, look at that. We've got a sell here, and it's going up. Now we go to gold. Oh, I've actually got two charts for gold too. So I've got a buy, and it's going down. So go figure. Normally they move the same direction. Yeah, gold, it's a, we've got multi-sequence hedging here. It's not too bad. Overall break-even's way up here. Most of these sequences, sequence 1, 3, 5, and 7, and 9 are hedged. So it's only sequence 6 and sequence 8. So sequence 6, it's there, break-even's just not too far up there. Sequence 8, we're just on the break-even level at the moment. Sequence 10 is this new latest buy. So we want to push up, see if we can close a couple of these buy sequences out, then wait for a sell signal and try and come back down through the sell side. But as you can see, gold tends to be bullish. Metals, crypto tend to be bullish like the stock market most of the time, but doesn't go up forever. Big round number, that's the 3,500. Doesn't seem that long ago that we're talking about gold at $400 or $200. Yeah, it's unbelievable. So that's gold, and here's another cleaner chart, same thing, gold. There's the latest signal to buy there. There's your 3,500 level. We're at the see, look at that. It came, what did I say last week? Came within 3 cents. If you look up here, the high. Where are we? $3,499.97. 3 cents short of 5,000. 3,500. So that's the high there. There's your buy signal. Come back nicely with the trend trade. Right, US stock market. Let's have a look at that. It's reached an all-time high. Draw that line there. That's a high. This was the previous. We'll just go to the weekly chart. Have a look at the weekly. There's your previous high, and it's broken it. Go back to the daily chart. So yeah, trend starting to head up. Last signal was this buy here, which wasn't a bad signal. Price came just very close to the 50. Trend is up. Yeah, but the concern would have been that high there. But it's ground through. We'll just wait and see. Well, that's it, boys and girls. So 2 new trades, AusCAD, New Zealand CAD, both sells on Monday, and Bitcoin, I've moved the stop up today, just inside the entry level. That's been updated on the spreadsheet. That's about it. So if you do like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That's always appreciated. I'll turn this fan back on. It's about 35 degrees in here. That's Celsius. All right, enjoy the weekend all, stay safe, and thank you for watching. Cheers.